everyone, I'm Leigh, and today I am making cinnamon rolls. Now, you can buy cinnamon rolls at the mall or at the airport, but they are nothing compared to cinnamon rolls that you make at home. And these guys are actually pretty easy. Now, I've already prepared the dough, and you can even do this a day ahead. It's a refrigerator dough, which is somewhat self-explanatory. You make it a day ahead, and it sits in the refrigerator, which gives it a chance to get nice and yeasty and soft. So I'll go ahead and put the recipe for the dough up on the screen there for you. And once you've prepared the dough, you want to roll it out on a non-stick surface, and I'm using a silicone mat here dusted with just a little bit of flour. And you want to roll it, and this takes a little bit of patience, into a rectangle that's about 12 by 6 inches. And the handy thing about this mat is that I've actually got the inch markers along the edge of the mat. So if you don't, you can use a tape measure or a ruler. So this dough is a little stretchy, which is good. That's the right texture. But because it's so soft and stretchy, it takes quite a bit of effort to get it into the right shape because it sort of wants to pull back into a ball. Okay, we are just about there. And your measurements don't have to be precise. You just want a rectangle that's about twice as long as it is wide. Okay? Oh, these are gonna be so good. And the dough should be just a little sticky. If it's too sticky, just use a little flour to keep it from sticking to your hands and to the rolling pin. Now, the filling is just as decadent as you might expect. This is a mixture of melted butter, that's a full stick, so 8 tablespoons, and a ½ cup of brown sugar, light brown sugar, and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. And you want to just take the filling and spread it. I'm going to go a little light to begin with. This is an offset spatula. If you don't have an offset spatula, you can just use the back of a spoon. Use whatever you have. And you don't want to go all the way to the edges. Leave yourself that's about 3/4 of an inch, ½ an inch of a margin all the way around. Looks like I have a couple little pieces of hardened sugar. I'm gonna just pull those out. Oh, there's nothing better than butter, sugar, and cinnamon. Okay, so that's pretty good. And now, to me, the best part of a cinnamon roll is the raisins. And these raisins, it's actually a mixture of raisins and currants, just because I didn't have enough raisins. You can use currants, raisins, you could even use golden raisins if you'd like. These raisins and currants are actually soaked in bourbon, so they have a really lovely, rich flavor. And I'm gonna just sprinkle them over the filling pretty evenly. Again, I'm gonna avoid the edges. Ooh, smell that whiskey. It smells great. And now, the final step, we're gonna roll this dough into a log. And I'm gonna do that along the long edge here. So just using your fingers, you wanna roll the edge up and sort of tuck it and roll it again. And I'm working from the sort of the middle to the edges. Again, the middle to the edge. And then bringing that end up. And as much as I tried to keep that filling from coming all the way to the edge, it is spilling out just a little bit, but that's no big deal. Now I'm pinching the log edges together. And I'm using quite a bit of force to keep it to stick. Okay, now you're probably wondering, what's with the log? How does this become cinnamon rolls? Please ignore that phone sound over there. Clearly someone's trying to get a hold of me. Pardon me for not putting it on silent. Okay, so how does this log become cinnamon rolls? It's a mystery, but wait. You're gonna roll it away from you so the seam is down. And I should say at this point, you could refrigerate this. So you could do this at night, do all the work ahead of time, throw it in the fridge and have your fresh cinnamon rolls for breakfast. Great idea. Right now, if you wanted to go ahead and put them in the oven, here's my knife. Here is how the log becomes cinnamon rolls. You simply take a sharp knife, this one's serrated, and at 1-inch intervals, you cut your log, and that is your cinnamon roll. And if I were gonna go ahead and bake these now, which I'm not because I do wanna save this for breakfast, I would place them in a baking dish. This is just a Pyrex dish. On the bottom of the Pyrex dish, I would put a mixture of honey and nuts and sugar. And I would place my little cinnamon rolls. You could probably do 2 by 2 because these will expand. You're gonna let them rise at room temperature. You bake them in the oven, and when they come out, all of that sugar and nuts will create the topping. I know it's on the bottom, but when you're finished, you invert the pan. The cinnamon rolls are baked and they're covered with that gooey, sugary nut mixture. And those are your finished cinnamon rolls. So I'll put all the instructions up on the next screen. I fully encourage you to make cinnamon rolls at home. They are extraordinarily delicious.